horror. It's usually pretty scary, right? Because it's horror. You expect horror to be scary. And October is no different. It's supposed to be a month of scary, spooky, thrilling things, ghosts and goblins and skeletons. However, I beseech unto thee, spooky season need not be scary. Horror need not necessarily be scary. Have we ever watched anything with Bruce Campbell in it, for example? Most of that's not scary, it's campy. Let's leave aside the denotation of the words and think about the connotation. Let's think about what they evoke. Scary. Scary doesn't leave a lot of room. Scary is scary. Scary is, I'm going to have nightmares tonight if I watch this movie. Scary is, I'm going to have paranoia about the Final Destination log truck every single time we're on the highway behind a truck with like logs or pipes. That's scary. Scary just is scary, right? Terrifying is like scary times 10. Horrifying is scary plus disgust. But scary, there's no way to soften scary, right? You can't be scary and ooh-woo at the same time. But spooky, now we're talking, because spooky gives you the room to like skulls, but also be soft. Bats with big, soft, cute eyes and soft, soft fur. Let's try spooky for a little while. Let's just have the little witch sitting on her broom, sipping her tea. You know, she doesn't do scary spells. She doesn't, like, curse you and turn you into a toad. Although, when you really think about it, what kind of worries would a toad have? It's a pretty nice life right there. I think that witch is doing you a favor. This witch, you know, she casts a hex. It's like a consensual thing. Like, may you stub your toe in random intervals no longer than 72 hours in length until you learn how to use your blinker when you're switching lanes on the highway. That's a hex that you can get yourself out of. You just have to be respectful and be more mindful of people and use your blinker. Spooky is crows and ravens and spiders that don't touch us, right? Spiders that are up in the corner in their little spider spot, doing their little spider thing, keeping the flies out of the house. Yeah, we like that. We don't like them when they touch us. That's scary. That has crossed the line. When it's a billion spiders all in one mass, or like a ball of snakes that are writhing around each other, that's crossed the line. That is now scary. That's horrifying. Okay? We don't want to do that. We want to do soft horror. A little gothy. Like, not like traditional I'm goth because of the music, but like the dark romantic aesthetic. A little sprinkle of cottagecore, some dark academia, old books and tea, but in black, right? And I'm not saying that everybody needs to have this aesthetic. I'm just saying, let's maybe have room for people to be spooky all year round. Because this hat was not cheap. I am going to wear it all year round, even though it's a witch hat. And you know what? When I wear this hat out in January, and people are like, wow, Halloween's come really early, I'll be like, yep, we're making up for lost time because Christmas has been stealing our thunder. People don't appreciate spooky aesthetic all year round. People appreciate spooky aesthetic in the month of October. Like, not even in September. You can go out in your cute little witch hat that shades you from the sun and keeps your complexion vampire pale in September, and people will be like, ooh, Halloween has come early, hasn't it? And I'll be like, well, yes, there's magic in my life all year round. Spooky, 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 spooky. Spooky is a mindset, not just an aesthetic. I bet you don't even listen to spooky music. Let's talk spooky icons. We've got the witch, of course. Not necessarily an evil witch. She could be a good witch. She could be a witch who minds her own damn business. She can be a witch who just cooks delicious things for everybody that she loves and makes them, you know, the best peanut butter fudge that they've ever had in their lives. She could be a witch who just works magic for herself so that she can find things in every day to be grateful for. Small magic, small magic. After the witch, we've got the bat. Absolutely classic. We love a bat. Bats eat the mosquitoes. Hell yeah. Best animal ever. If you ask me, anything that eats mosquitoes, yes, you can come hang out on my property. Absolutely. Keep me safe from the tiny vampires. I don't know what they're doing here. They certainly don't have an invitation to my party. Spiders. Now, I long have been in the arachnophobia camp, okay? It's not a rational fear, but I'm slowly coming to terms with the spider over there, okay? You wanna make your little web up in the corner where I can't reach you, you can't reach me, and we respect each other's personal space? Absolutely. Wonderful. Yes, welcome, spider, to my home. You may make your home in my home. You can be spooky with me. I will happily be spooky with you, little spider who does not touch me. But when you, spider, are on my bath towel, when I am getting out of the shower, that has crossed the line. You are no longer spooky. You are nightmare fuel. And that is not okay. That's a boundary. Please do not cross it. You keep your space, I'll keep mine. Right? Never the twain should cross. Make your aesthetic little webs that the morning dew can glisten off of and I can just appreciate from a distance. Right? All right? That's our deal, okay? No touchy. You no touchy me, I no touchy you. And like the babies, can we just have the spider babies far away that I don't have to see all of them? I don't. That's horrifying. That's a primal fear that I cannot get over. So, like the little groups of spooky animals, you no longer spooky. Straight into scary. Like 3 rats. Okay, 3 rats are okay. But a lot of rats all together and climbing over each other, we don't. That's no longer spooky. Rats are a spooky icon. Yeah, they get a bad rap. Rats are very sweet. Rats are very intelligent. Rats are very cleanly. Like every rat that I've met, granted, has been a pet rat, has been a fancy rat, but they've all been very, very gentlemanly, if you ask me. And you know, the pizza rat, just trying to make a living. You know, it's hard out there in New York. Or so I've heard. I've never been. That rats and pigeons unduly get a bad rap. I get why rats get a bad rap, though. Like, they have a history. It's not really their fault. Because, like, the church decided that cats were evil. And so they started killing all the cats that were the natural predators for the rats. And then the rats over-multiplied. And then they had, you know, the fleas. I think it was the fleas on the rats that started biting the humans and gave them all, you know, the bubonic plague. You know, really, it's not the rat's fault, it's the flea's fault. The rat was just the vehicle, but the rats got the bad rap for that. So now they're unclean creatures. So, like, we can take a little rat for our spooky icon. Cats, again, another spooky icon. Black cats especially. We don't need the scared cat with the spiky tail going straight up, going around. We like, hear me out, a comfy kitty curled up in a ray of sun on a soft pillow, happy and content with life. Spooky. A spooky kitty. Not a scary kitty. A spooky kitty. A kitty who will come and sit in your lap while you have a spot of your basic witch tea. Spooky. Ravens and crows, which a lot of people confuse. The size is very different, okay? A crow, a raven. Crow, raven. They both hang out together in groups. They're both very, very smart. We love a bird, a smart bird especially. We love the all black aesthetic, the like oil slick plumage. Very fashionable. They're absolutely deserving of being spooky icons. There are some superstitions with crows that, like, if you see a specific number of crows, it's a bad omen. I just, like, every time I see a crow, it's a good day. They're babies. If I'm driving down the street, me and nonsense, we'll point out and we'll go, baby. And that's because we see a crow and we share that with the other person. They make me happy. It's a little piece of wonder in my daily life. Crows are spooky babies. So are ravens, even though I've only ever seen them in my life when I took one trip down to the Grand Canyon. But I will have more ravens in my life. Mark my words. What else? We've got pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, and like, not even like just the carved ones, but just like pumpkins. The very aesthetic, like, gourd moment. The ones that are carved might lean more toward the scary unless they're like campy goofy, right? But an uncarved pumpkin definitely goes in the spooky category. I think I've talked about spiders. At a distance. The web's very aesthetic, very spooky, as long as not touching, right? Then it's scary. I think definitely Victorian architecture is the spookiest architecture. Like, that's another icon, is the dark painted Victorian house with the pokey bits that are all filigreed and detailed, and I love it. I want to go to the goth Target in Chicago because that's spooky, right? It's a Target, right? But it's in this beautiful building that's all black and detailed and gorgeous. It's spooky. She's a spooky icon, Your Honor. Like, how do I even explain what spooky means? Because it's just so spooky, right? It's not scary, because scary is its own thing. And it's not really super comforting the way the rest of the fall stuff is. It's like not the harvest aesthetic, but like at the edge of the harvest, there's a line between spooky and harvest aesthetic that share a lot of things. Like, we share the leaves and the pumpkins and the basic witch tea. But spooky is like skulls, but with flowers, right? Spooky is like roses growing out of a rib cage. It's not just death, it is death and rebirth. Spooky is the memento mori, right? The dark aesthetic that reminds us that mortality is a thing and eventually we will die, but not in like a scary you're gonna die way, but like in a you're gonna die, maybe appreciate the things that are in front of you sort of way, right? I apologize if you can hear my neighbors mowing their lawn. Apparently, it's lawn mowing day. This is the third neighbor, I think, that is mowing their lawn today. I apologize if that comes through on the audio. Where was I? Oh yes, the Addams Family. They have a lot of spooky, right? They're dark, and they chop the heads off of roses, and they're obsessed with death and pain, but like, it's not in a scary, evil way. They're very much romantic people who are in love with each other and like life itself. They enjoy life. They sword fight. And there's a commentary in there about how different can be viewed as bad because humans have an innate fear of the unknown, I suppose. But like, Morticia, spooky icon. Lydia. I have not seen the new Beetlejuice movie, don't get on me. But, speaking strictly from the old movie, Lydia, spooky icon. I don't even have words for it, right? Spooky is just, it's spooky. It's macabre, but soft. It's like a respect not only for life, but for death, right? It's a reminder to us that death has meaning, and life should have meaning. I suppose it's not something that can truly be explained. You either get spooky or you don't get spooky. And if you don't get spooky, I don't know that you ever will. Maybe at some point in your life you'll have a pivotal moment where you turn and you're like, okay, I can appreciate this macabre darkness and reminder that I too am mortal. Yeah, I see where they're coming from now. Like, yeah, I want to get a skull mug and drink my morning coffee out of it. But most people don't like that reminder of mortality. They don't like that memento mori. They don't like the constant reminder that our time on this earth is finite and thus we should make it special. They just don't want to put the thought into that because the fear of the unknown. I guess we're all, all of us spooky babes are a little, you know the term. I'm not going to say it on YouTube, but we embrace the darkness, right? We read the books with the masked men and the dark fae and things like that. We like a little touch of the macabre in our romance. Monsters are people too. That's the kind of people that we are. We're the people who want to talk to the monsters. What's up with the goblins and why are they attacking the humans? Do they have some sort of need that's unmet that, some kind of compromise and coexistence could happen? Spooky, I think, exists in this sort of space that most of the world doesn't want it to exist. Like, it's not in that evil horror movie, the doll is going to come to life and get me in the middle of the night sort of way. It's more like the creepy forest that you walk to and there's a cozy cabin where the lady pours you some tea and you tell her about your journey and she gives you like this potion that you have no idea what it does until at the very most opportune moment in your story you use it and it does exactly the thing it needs to do in that moment, right? That's spooky. It's a little eerie. Maybe just a little unsettling. Not like walking on a bed of nails unsettling, but just like, does this person see the future? Or are they just wise? Unsettling, right? Spooky is an aspiration. We can't be spooky all the time, but we can aspire to be spooky all the time. I aspire to be the wise old witch in the woods that dispenses advice that people don't really understand until the moment that they get that flash of insight and then finally they understand what it all meant. That's me. I seek to be that NPC in everybody's life, right? I want all the neighborhood kids to look at me with my pink hair and think that I'm some sort of fey creature, okay? That's what I aspire to. I aspire to be the old woman sitting on my porch with my cat in my lap, sipping my tea, waving at the kids as they go past, and they know that old Granny Hannah, she knows how to fix things. Like most grannies do, right? That's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be spooky. I want to be spooky now. I want to be spooky forevermore. What do you think is spooky? What have I missed in talking about spooky icons? Where do you think the line between spooky and scary is? Can something be both scary and spooky? What's your favorite spooky movie? Do you have a favorite spooky song? Do you aspire to be spooky? What is the pinnacle of spooky for you? Tell me. Drop down into the comments. Have a conversation. What's your favorite Halloween treat? What's your favorite harvesty tea? Come on, are you a basic witch like me? Or do you prefer something with a little more sophistication in your palate? Give me tea recommendations, please, because I feel like I keep drinking the same things over and over again, and I would really like to branch out and try new things. Please tell me what tea you like. Give me some recommendations of things I should try. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than words can say. I appreciate every second of your precious attention that you give to me. I hope that you are doing your best to take care of my friend by drinking water, eating things that are delicious and nutritious, and doing things that fulfill your soul. Make sure that you take rest before rest takes you, okay? Take care of my friend, and I promise I will do my very level best to take care of yours. And I don't know about you, but I like the crows. I like the ravens. I like the little sky puppies. Bat Sanctuary, I would be there. Oh yes. Give me the money to have and run a bat sanctuary. I will run you a bat sanctuary. We will sanctuary the bats. We will take care of all of the bats. They're so cute. Even the ones that are like, I drink your blood. The tiny little vampires. Ooh, I'm thirsty. May I please have a cow ear to nibble on? Nom 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 nom. Cows are cute too. How come we don't have spooky cows? How come we don't have spooky cows? There are black cows. They're very pretty. We could totally, have some spooky cows to go in our spooky menagerie of, ravens and crows and spiders and bats. Nominate cows for spooky critter. They can be scary too. You ever been chased by a bull?